It is a rematch of Super Bowl 49, one that went right down to the last play. It's Tom Brady going up against Russell Wilson. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by are our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Coming up is a rematch of that memorable Super Bowl 49 between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And his first look is incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. In the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
2nd down here after the incomplete pass. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. He hits Baldwin right side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. 3rd play here this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
That's a really fine play there because anytime you see a comeback route, that means you cannot just stay in one spot and make a play on the ball. You've got to move your feet and move with the receiver, and that's exactly what he did.
So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. And look here, it's an opening drive fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call... just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
Brady now on 1st down. The throw left side complete to Hogan. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Let's discuss this offense now. And Julian Edelman, very good player.
Has really developed into a terrific slot receiver. And a lot of times he would be the primary receiver. Still mad coming out of college that he's not a quarterback in the NFL. He takes it out on the opposing defenses.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Here's Brady. And a look at the defense now. And he will find his man. That's Hogan, complete. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. And now the offense operates in the red zone.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
And this is caught. It's Edelman. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Julian Edelman, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Pats have taken the early lead.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now... you got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what?
He rifles one that's intercepted. And it's the linebacker, Shea McClellan, with a pick. Okay, partners, New England comes out here to take the field on offense. This is such an interesting story, how they've been able to do it year after year after year. Guys talk about parity in the NFL. Well, New England has kind of transcended that parity, and they've done it with guys that you don't normally think of as household names.
The parts keep changing for New England. That's the amazing part on offense, all right? Offensive linemen change, receivers change, running backs change. We know the one constant is Tom Brady, and that's a huge deal for them. But to be able to do it in what you call the parity times, and you're exactly right, everyone's supposed to be pretty equal. New England still a top 10 offense year in and year out. In 2016, they were number 4, and that helped them with a number 1 ranked defense as well.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And when you have a guy in the backfield who can catch the football, you don't just use him strictly for checkdowns or dump-offs. You make him part of the primary passing attack, because what you're trying to do is get him into open field and then let him make people miss and advance the football.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
But when it comes to the running game, the New England Patriots, they're one of the few teams in the NFL that I don't think care much about balancing things out.
Last year, to your point, 5th in passing yardage, number 30 in the run game.
What they want to do each and every week is make a game plan based on their opponent, not so much their own personnel, and they try to attack that way.
Last year for Edelman, just below 100 receptions, 98, over 1,100 yards, 3 touchdowns. And, you know, this is a guy that gets a lot of pump for being that perfect receiver for Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. What's his role going forward?
I think his role going forward is to be a bona fide number 1 receiver in the NFL, meaning he's not just a Tom Brady receiver. He's that guy for anyone. And he spent so much time proving himself as he got into the league, just what you were talking about. Can I have a role here with New England? Now it's not just proving himself, it's continuing to develop in his craft. And I think he's going to just keep getting better and better. He never gave up on himself in his dreams, and he doesn't give up on any single play.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30.
And LeGarrette Blount just does not go down easy. You know, from my experience as a defensive back, this was a difficult guy to try and tackle because of the force that he runs with, and he's not going to be daunted no matter it's the first quarter or the fourth quarter, Brandon.
Well, what shocks me about last year, 18 touchdowns. I mean, the yards were pretty good, 1161. But when I think of New England, I don't think of a running back getting 18 touchdowns.
You know, that to me, it was the combo that made the 2016 season for him. Most yards in his career, most touchdowns in his career by far. And he's the type of guy that, hey, you want to give it to me inside the 5? He doesn't believe anyone's going to stop him. A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And credit the tackle to Cliff Averill.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on the quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield. As a guy carrying the ball, your eyes are going to direct your feet, and you're hoping they carry you to the open spaces. But it's awfully difficult at times because you have so many things you have to look out for. Where's the line blocking? Where's the traffic coming from? Tough to find open spots.
And it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Michael Floyd, and it's third down. And this seemingly endless drive continues. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Brady now on third and goal. And that's caught by Gronk for a Pats touchdown. Rob Gronkowski from 8 yards out, and the Patriots add on to their lead. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it, and he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. So with that, we come upon the 2-minute warning here on the NFL on EA Sports. On second down, Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
He's got Curse. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. And they're on third and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back. In that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get them in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is third and goal. On third and goal, Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Now whistles blow, and the Patriots are going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Here come the Patriots again on offense, the Super Bowl champions, and boy, they have been able to do it a lot of times, Charles, with unsung heroes, haven't they? Look at the names that led them through the playoffs. Hogan, White, Lewis, guys you just wouldn't think of.
Yeah, Deion Lewis, a 5th-round pick, 3 touchdowns against Houston in the divisional round. Chris Hogan, undrafted. He ends up having 180 yards in receptions, including 5 plays of 20 yards or more against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And how about James White, a 4th-round pick out of Wisconsin? Think about who he played behind while he was at Wisconsin, and he turns out to be the unsung hero of the Super Bowl. Would have been the MVP if it wasn't for Tom Brady.
And you mentioned James White at Wisconsin. He was behind who? Melvin Gordon and Monte Ball, right?
That's correct.
They slot Gronkowski outright. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
On 1st down, Brady. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams, and Arizona. Those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're
trying to squeeze it into Edelman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now it's Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught. An extra corner on the field for New England here on 3rd down.
Yeah, another DB. Now Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's caught inside the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st down, Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And he'll try and throw here on the fake. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared.
LeGarrette Blount, the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. LeGarrette Blount, 75 yards. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rob Ninkovich in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on 2nd down. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Wilson, complete. Richardson has it. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is. He had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but how about them just taking it big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot. But there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents. All right, that starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams, so your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction, and then you have the OTAs and minicamps. We get to see them on the field for the first time, and we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
And this will be taken at the 13. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction, because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
11 yards on the pickup, and that'll be good for a Seattle 1st down.
when you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No,
you know I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get the top speed and complete that play.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And now out come the Patriots. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys low.
LeGarrette Blount, the 40, 20, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. LeGarrette Blount with now his second touchdown of this third quarter. And the Patriots add on to their lead. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Looking for Baldwin. Intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out on the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Screen pass to Blount. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big gain.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
He's got it, and they're back within a touchdown at 28-21. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Looking back to the air on second down, it's Brady. And Brady going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a gain of 7, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
They go play it, and he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. On second down, here's Wilson going to Rawls on the dump off. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. Wilson, complete. Richardson has it. And he is out of bounds, but not before taking this down to the 8. That one goes for 24 yards. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
From the shotgun, Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
And a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he's probably throwing here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question.
There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. So the Patriots coming out now. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those. And
I think the ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, it rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Play clock winding down. On second down, Rawls looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you've got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going?
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Wilson. Looking left sideline, it's complete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
A really nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. First down, this is Rawls. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The play clock's running down. They go again with Rawls. And he stopped immediately there. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Let's just go ahead and go back to that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, or if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do, and if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude him? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really did.
Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Wilson. And they'll lose yardage here. Now whistles blow, and the Patriots are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. An extra defensive back in the game here on 3rd and goal. Now it's Wilson. That is caught at the 7. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. And now then, it's a big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th. But, Charles, there is still time left for a final drive.
Brandon, you know they would have liked to take the clock down just a little bit further, at least under a minute or so. But this one's not over yet, especially since they just need a field goal.
Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And last time they coughed it up. led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts, finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Back to throw. Completes it over the middle to Floyd. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
6 yards here to go for the offense on second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great, and now off to the races down the right side. Past the 20. And he will take this one home.